Okay, so for those of you that didn't get the future Gohan, you can actually use a double LR Trunks lead to run the future category team because he is the lead as well as the future Gohan. Well, that didn't make any sense. The future Trunks is also the lead for this particular category, so it kind of works out in the end, and I'm going to have to put the Trunks in the middle. He doesn't give as much of an increase to this particular team, but he is still the lead for this particular category. If I'm not mistaken, he gives a 70% stats increase to all stats. Well, yeah, a 70% stats increase and the free key. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a great day. As always, of course, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff if you are having just a wonderful day. And if you maybe enjoy the video and if you found it helpful, but I would imagine that you maybe know about this already, or you just have future Gohan, so you don't have a use for it. But regardless, I do want to see how this team is going to perform on this particular lead. I am going to try to get particular setups going. For example, I'm going to try to get at least one rotation with the LR Trunks, of course, and then a separate one with maybe Rose and the Zamasu. But for now, damn it, we are definitely going to have a few issues here when it comes to super attacking with the Trunks. I feel like I low-key should have ran Android 18, but I mean, it is what it is, right? And there we go. I believe the friend one is at 100% as well, which is extremely helpful. And of course, in the next turn, we are going to activate Trunks' second passive, which gives him an even bigger attack increase, which is perfect because it gives us another indication of how strong he is on this particular setup. And like what? The lead that we are on is equivalent to Rage Trunks and Merger Marcy, so we've had a bit of a demonstration a while back as to how good that particular setup can be. I don't think it matters what I go with. Trunks is going to get the 18 key regardless, and there it is. Of course, he does give himself key when you are facing 2 or more enemies. We need more stages like this to optimize the Trunks, and it makes sense why his passive is like this. I would have preferred it that his passive wasn't like this, but of course, that's just the way it is. He is still strong without the second portion of his passive, but he is much, much stronger with that additional part. But again, maybe that's what they have planned for the future. Maybe they are going to implicate... Is that even the right word to use in this situation? I don't know. Just implement more stages with multiple enemies. I think that's going to... that would be perfect. So multiple enemies, 2 enemies at the very least, that have a ton of health. I think that would be perfect. So, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Omega, you have to take them on in the exact same rotation. I think that would be dope. But I do not know if they would do that. I mean, they could push it. They could definitely go down that road. But will they? Is a completely different question. Okay, here we go. Blue Vegeta, one of my favorite units on this team for sure. And Vegito Blue, what are you doing? And I purposely decided to use these particular units because I would imagine that if you've been playing for a decent amount of time, you most likely have some of these older units. And of course, well, I could have... Now that I think about it, why did I not use the Rage Trunks? He is also considered a quote-unquote old unit. Yeah, I think he would have been a decent option for this team as well, to be fair. Right, let's go with this. Yeah, honestly, in hindsight, the Rage Trunks would have been pretty good on this team. Wait, can I? No, I don't think I... No, I can't. Yeah, I can't. Never mind. I can't use them because of the Trunks that I have in this team. This one has Future in its name. But the, what do you call it? What other Trunks am I thinking about? So this particular Trunks has Future in his name. And then the LR Trunks has Teen in his name, which is kind of interesting. Alright, so one thing that we haven't activated just yet is the Big Bad Boss's Link, which is going to make a big difference when it comes to the value of the attack stats for the villains. But, I mean, so far so good. For the most part, they are all over 1 million. I feel like Vegeta is kind of not struggling, but he is not getting over 1 million consistently. What about Vegito Blue? We haven't necessarily seen too much of him in this particular video. Well, at the very least, I haven't paid too much attention to him. So let's see what happens here. And if we are lucky, I won't die. And we are maybe going to activate Big Bad Bosses next turn. Alright, here we go. Off to an interesting start. So, like, I think, to be fair, his attack stat is fairly high, considering. I think it's not bad at all. And we still have Vegeta in rotation. Yeah, it's not bad. 430,000 for the attack stat on this Vegito. I'm curious to see how well the other Vegito is. Or how good the other tech Vegito is. LR Vegito Blue would be decent as well, of course. But, again, maybe another time. Right, so now we have the final stage. So it's taking a bit longer than I expected. Man, can you... Wait, did I get rid of my Rose? I got rid of the Rose, damn it. Big Bad Bosses isn't active anyway. But I am gonna use the Icarus here. And then I'll pick these up. I have to type Orb set off for next turn. Honestly, if you decide to maybe run some of the other LRs, like Black, Vegito Blue, LR Trunks, of course, I feel like it could work reasonably well. But again, it comes down to whether or not you have them. I would imagine that quite a few people do have Vegito Blue, so he is another one that you could potentially implement into this team. Instead of, I think, honestly, for this particular team, he may be better than the physical one at 100%. So, I think that is definitely something that you should consider using. And obviously, it's a lot easier to get that Vegeta to 100% instead of the physical one. Damn, no Vegeta. Okay. No Vegeta super attack here. Fair enough. And he still has a ton of health, of health bars left. I guess the one thing I've noticed about this particular team is that if you are trying to use this one with the weaker versions of the newer units, it most certainly does take a bit longer to take out these particular stages. Again, I'm purposely using a weaker variation of his team. I would imagine if you use Tech Vegito Blue, STR Rose Goku Black, LR Black and such, it would just absolutely steamroll through this event. Okay. Damn. He still has so much health left. Yeah, I know you have it. So, Rose's attack stat isn't as high as I thought it would be. But, I mean, to be fair, he hasn't paired up with anyone with the majority of his attack links. So it makes sense. It makes sense. Okay, so what do I do now? I suppose we go with this. And this could be a Dokkan mode. Man, it honestly sucks so much because what's his name? Trunks is so damn powerful on this particular team when he is facing 2 enemies or more. But without it, it's just like yeah, so much damn potential. It's crazy. But he's kind of held back by his own passive. He's held back by himself, really. Which is a bit of a shame, but again, can't do much about that right now. I'm surprised they made him like this, to be fair. They had the opportunity to make him, like, really damn good, but unfortunately, he's pretty average. Well, he's not average. He is, like, one of the better free-to-play units in the game, but he could have been better. They didn't have to add that certain restriction to his card, but can't do much about it. And I get super attacks. But this definitely was interesting. I think that this particular setup is still very solid. Again, you guys don't have to run the weaker versions of these particular cards. I'm just doing it for, just the sake of doing it. But it does show you that this team can run relatively well against these events. Okay. And I'm not even thinking about rotations and such, so it definitely is a big factor because I'm trying to keep the future Trunks in rotation. Obviously because he is the lead, but I don't think that's a bad thing. Okay. But we are going to finally finish him off there. Definitely was a bit of an interesting one. Now, I don't know if this is going to be used by a lot of people, but if you do just want to try this particular category out, then if you want to see this particular category in action, or at least try it out for yourself, then this is one of the better ways to, use it. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Of course, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and peace.